What's up, everybody? I'm up late. This is a late night live. Like I said, you never know when I can pop up. I was live earlier. Thank you, Rob. Hey, your favorite persuasion. I've had a lot of people on my lives at this time. Actually, later. I've been live up to 3 a.m. before with a number of people calling me from their jobs and everything. There's an idea that's on my brain. First, let me say is that I'm not here to tell people what to do with their own money. It's up to them. Many millionaires and billionaires have been very generous through charities. If I was rich, I'm one of the type of people I want to give you the money directly because I know certain charities scam people. You never know if the money is really going to the people. I want the proof that what I wanted the money to go to help will help. I don't want to give money to things that's just a waste. And with COVID and even before COVID, millions of people struggle in this country and worldwide. Now, I did say the world because there are other people who might be influenced around the globe for what I'm about to say. But for the American billionaires, I'm definitely speaking to you. I have a great idea. And you know what? I thought about this before, but it really was on my mind when I watched an episode of a woman who wanted to move to New York, and these small apartments were like $3,000 a month. And the guy that shows the home, he said, the guy told me for the whole building, all I would need is 15 million. 15 million for a whole New York apartment building. And it hit me about the billionaires who gives that much away to charities, and we don't even know if the charities are even really helping the people, but they do it with the kindness of their heart. And I'm like, you know what? I thought of, okay, I have four billionaires up here just as an example. Oprah has been very generous. She's been very generous. She built the school in Africa. And a lot of people was pissed, you know who, about her doing that in Africa, but it was a great thing to help the girls because education, a lot of girls in poor countries aren't allowed to get educated, and she wanted to do something for African girls. And she has her own magazine. She's worked with Tyler Perry on her own network, which has some great shows. And Oprah is an inspiration. So let me be clear again. I'm not trying to say what they have to do. It's just an idea. If I was a billionaire, I could do it, but I'm not a billionaire. So you have Bill Gates, you have Robert F. Smith, and I'm not going to lie, I forgot this lady's name down here, but she is a billionaire. And thank you, Frank White. And I remember years ago hearing that Bill Gates said that he wasn't leaving his children anything. Bill Gates is reportedly worth almost $150 billion and that he was going to give everything away to charity. And I thought to myself, what greater charity than to house people? Think about it. If that guy in New York said it only cost 15 million to buy the building, you have people in Hollywood and Kylie Jenner's, and just for an example, that's chump change to them. That's nothing. Plenty of people in the music industry, in Hollywood, and so much more, they buy houses just for themselves at that price. So a billionaire, I was thinking, why not? I said it before, I don't get why multimillionaires of all groups, but especially black, why they don't buy apartment complexes that they own and make the cheap renter for poor people. So that's what I was thinking. A few million. How I think it's a great idea for billionaires to buy up buildings, and if they wanted to throw all their money away anyway on a charity, why not just buy buildings and make the rent $300 so that people on disability, people that's struggling, students, everybody, even people who aren't, I mean, maybe there would be a selection, you know, but they would do it with multiple buildings that they own. And instead of just giving it all away to one charity, billions of dollars, your legacy would be you have the building that you bought, and you're still making money. You're charging $300 to maybe $400 in rent a month. Okay, so you're gonna get your money back, and maybe the money could go to a descendant or somebody that you hire, somebody close to you, that when you pass away, they'll still be collecting the money that you invested in the buildings, that'll last a lifetime. I just think it's a great idea. Okay, let me see the chat. Mona says, a lot of charities are corrupt. Rob says charities keep too much for administrative salaries. Mona says the workers of the charities become rich while they give the people who they are supposed to crumbs. Rob says yes, agree, cerebral, like rent control. Poseidon MGTOW says they didn't get where they are by caring about others. That's true, but a lot of them always say that they want. I mean, look, Bill Gates is the perfect example. He said, I'm not going to give my kids anything. I'm giving all these billions to different charities. Well, the greatest charity I think he could do is buy up a bunch of buildings and rent out the apartments and give it to people who can't afford to live on their own, because the average rent is too high for a number of people. People making minimum wage, disability, elderly, single mothers, single men. I mean, anyone could have a chance. And I just think it wouldn't be a waste of money, because not only did you help people, you bought the building, but you're also still going to be getting money back anyway. You know, look at that building in this picture. $300 rent for each apartment. You know, hey, you'll still be getting some money, and you did some good. So I think the greatest thing you can do when you're rich is buy up property. It's the smartest thing in the whole world. And they may see my video, maybe. you know, huh. I think if this was to come out, a lot of people would be excited. I wouldn't want it to be like a lottery. You know how they do that in New York, lotteries? I don't like that shit. No. Everyone could apply. You do have to, well, they would know a little bit of your story and everything like that. I hope I would get one since I've come up with the idea. But this is just one of many. I just think this is a wonderful thing. Um, Man, I'm trying to think. Anybody else got any good ideas in the chat? So yeah, buy up the 15 million to 20 million dollar buildings, which is chump change to them, and then rent out the apartments for 300 rent, $300 to $400, $400 at the max, nothing over that. So humans could finally stop suffering. Okay, that's the greatest charity you can leave behind. You'll help millions and millions of people. You know, I have some dreams. If I had money, I really, really, really want to change the mobile home game. Like, a lot of mobile homes were built in the 80s, and a lot of people have to renovate them, to upgrade them, to make them look modern. I would totally change the mobile home game. Beautiful mobile homes at affordable prices. The tiny house game is really something big right now. I would make beautiful tiny houses, RVs that look beautiful. Um, I would have Airbnbs. I would have, shoot, what else? I mean, I would do a whole bunch, even maybe a school, all types of stuff. But definitely affordable housing. I would love to be involved in decorating an apartment complex for low income people, because I really would like for people who don't make money to come home to a beautiful apartment that looks like money. And there are ways to do that. There are so many ways to make things look expensive now on a low budget. They even have the stick and peel tiles now. Um, it's all about putting it together, making it look good. And I would love to do something like that, you know. And I think investing in a laundromat is very smart, and not some ugly laundromat. I mean, something that looks nice, you know, something nice. And laundromats are not cheap. I looked up the price for just one of the big old machines, and I think it was like $3,000 just for one. So I think the amount of rent is just ridiculous these days. It's not fair. It's not right. And a lot of people, especially in places like New York, they can't even have their own place at large. And when they have Section 8 and lower rent, it's lotteries, you're on waiting lists. It's just fucking ridiculous. Minimum wage is ridiculous, the price. It's ridiculous. No one can live on minimum wage in this country at large. You would always be suffering. It's just not right. It doesn't have to be this way. I don't believe it has to be this way. Why? Money is just paper. Why does it have to be this way? It's just no. Something must change. Yeah, you definitely have to vet people because I would have a contract. Anything you mess up in this apartment, you will be paying for. If you mess up the washer machine, you have to fix it. You have to pay for the repairs. If you mess up the paint, you have to get it repainted. No crayons on the wall. Carpet got to be clean. No major stains. I think maybe we could do a house check every 2 months. I don't know if that's too extreme, just to let them know we're not playing with you about making, fucking up the house. Excuse my language, because it's very, very generous to have rent this low and you want to maintain it. There could even be something. Now, this is a different idea. I would definitely do this, but also something for college students where a billionaire can buy a building and only, okay, a college student, $200, $150 to $200 for rent. That's all they have to pay a month, but they only get to stay in it for about 4 years, and then the next person gets to come in. But within 4 years, they can maybe find a career or a job or something, then move out, and then the next set gets to come in and pay the low rent. So you get 4 years. If you're in medical school to be a doctor, okay, we'll give you the 7 to 8 years that you can stay. But everyone else usually gets 4 years, and then you have to leave, and then the next group come in. I don't know. That just popped in my head. Doja Cat says, yeah, they closed the waiting list where I live. Some say it's 10 years or more. That's just ridiculous. I am not waiting no 10 years to get in no apartment. That's crazy. I was watching this video. It's a great program, y'all, called CNBC Make It. You have to see the stories. It's amazing. There was this hold on, was it Making It? It was something else. No, no, no. This lady lives in New York, but she only pays like 1,200 for $200 for this big apartment. It's beautiful. And she said no one can believe it, but her parents had it back in the day. And then they, put the lease in her name. They gave it to her. So, where she lives, you'll never probably find rent that low for an apartment of that size. But her parents, thought about her and gave the apartment to her. So, but yeah, I've always been a little I'm a charitable person, but I do get scared about charities lying. That's why I'm the type of person, I do want to give the money directly to the person. Um, there's something I want to do that I'll announce when I have time, but I've always wanted to talk to someone in Africa from a poor village to give me their address some way. And I've heard that girls can't have pads or tampons. Sometimes it's hard to find. And like we send a bunch of pads and tampons to them. Thank you. Hello, the real Aaron Collins. I mean, I already have something like that, a plan like that for here in America, but especially in poor countries where they don't have, because that's just inhumane. That's disgusting in 2021 that women and girls don't have this. It's not right. It's a worldwide disgrace to me. No girl or woman should have to go through that. Y'all all know. So, so yeah, I mean, that's basically what I just wanted to share my idea how billionaires can save America. That's in America. Um, and worldwide. I mean, millions of dollars is like a penny to someone very rich. So I'm like, you know, there's so much that can be done to help poor people. It's not really hard, you know. I know some people feel like, well, you just don't want people using stuff. You want them to work for stuff. You don't want them to just take it. Yeah, but everyone feels happy when they have somewhere to rest their head. You know, you don't have to worry about, do I have a home? Do I have somewhere to sleep? You know? Well, okay, Sydney A says this is exactly what world rulers want, everyone to be dependent on them. No thanks. But they wouldn't be dependent because they're no different than a landlord. They wouldn't, the plan, if it was me, they're not going to change the rent on you or anything. It's set in stone. Certain apartments are $300 to 400 at the max. And before, I mean, even if they're old and they're on their way out, this is their last way of giving to the world, real charity. So, the real Aaron Collins, actually, a lot of girls in India, they don't have pads and tampons too. A lot of them miss school and have to use cloths, and I find this to be a disgrace. Um, no woman or girl wants to have this falling down off of them trying to walk in front of people. And I'm not going to go into detail, but it's the worst thing I can imagine. I can't. So it's disgraceful. It's disgraceful and highly uncomfortable and nasty. So, but it's not their fault. So if I were a leader, I would work with people globally. Africa, we must have tampons and pads available in every single country. There must be working toilets in every single country with a correct sewer system. Yes, I read things. That's why I'm saying this, and this is not to target Africa. If I were to go to Africa, these were some of the things I think would need to be done. Working on a major currency that works in every country. Um, that's just a few things. And everyone on the globe should have housing. Period. Period. Man, I even thought about a truck, a homeless truck, a truck for homeless people, like a RV, where you go and you pick them up, and then you give them a shower, you shave them, you clean them up, you give them a packet of deodorant, a meal, a little bit of cash, toothpaste, soap, um, maybe some type of house where you can buy the house, and it's a school to reform homeless people. You find out who they are, what were they doing before they got homeless, what kind of skills they have. Make sure they have clean clothes, they're taking 2 baths every day, they're shaved, hair combed, find their families, something to get them back into society. I mean, a multimillionaire, not even a billionaire, could buy a building and do this, and with the help of other people who are wealthy, they could do this. So, oh no, yeah, no pedophiles. Yeah, houseboater. No pedophiles, no rapists. So, well, like I said in the beginning, Mona, I'm not gonna tell them what to do. It's just an idea, of something maybe put into the universe, maybe it will happen. So, so that's basically it. I just wanted to share my idea and hopefully a lot of you like it. Maybe a billionaire will see this in this country or somewhere else, who knows, but I think it's a great idea. So, and I have a lot of ideas, so I mean well with this. So, thank you all. Have a good night, everybody.